All right, how's everybody tonight? Hopefully having a good Thursday. We've got one break tonight, and that's going to be Diamond Kings baseball. And we do have some unpaid teams as it stands right now. So if you're interested in that, hang out a few minutes here. We're going to go over some information. Once we get through that, I'll check again. And if that person still hasn't paid for their teams, then we will need to find homes for those three teams. So we'll see how that shakes out here in a few minutes, I guess. In the meantime, let's get our info up on the screen here. So my feedback is automated on eBay. I get asked that question quite often, which is why it is included there in our informational section of the break. And basically what it means to you is this. Anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you are instantly going to get positive feedback in return. So it's a little bit of a win-win there. And of course, the other thing is to say thank you. I always appreciate you being here, bidding and breaking and chatting with me, keeping me company and all that sort of stuff. We're taking a look now at what is coming up in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, it's going to be busy. We've got a lot of new releases tomorrow. In fact, there are more than just even the three that we are breaking, but those are the three main ones. So they are the ones we will tackle tomorrow night. It's a half case of Prism Baseball, a full case of Leaf Flash Football, and a full case of Finest Baseball. Not necessarily broken in that order, but that is the order they're ending on eBay because, well, I messed some stuff up when I was listing. But anyway, we'll get all that done tomorrow night. Then Saturday night and Sunday night will both be off nights. We will come back on Monday night and work on some Gold Rush multi-sport autographed jerseys. We're going to do a 3-box break of that. Which I think technically, I believe that's a half case, but this is first time I've broken this product, so I wouldn't swear to it being a 6-box case, but I think that it is. And in that one, the spots are sold by the first letter of the name on the jersey. Okay, so Pele would go to the P, Hank Aaron, it would have Aaron on the back, would go to the A, Brady to the B, etc. I will tell you Zion Williamson is in this product. For those of you who follow basketball, that's a biggie. And all of the spots are listed in the football category, and there is a separate bidding spot for multi-signed jerseys because there are some jerseys that have multiple signatures on them. They would fall under that spot. You can see all the checklist on the listing description. It's in the photographs. Also, Court Kings basketball by the half case and Tier 1 baseball by the half case, loose boxes in both instances on that. Then Tuesday night, we're going to come back and finish up the master case of Diamond Kings that we are starting tonight. We will come back and finish that up on Tuesday night. So that's all you need to know there. Here's what you need to know about shipping. It looks like this. Monday is when I am projecting that this will go out the door. Now, as always, if things go better than I expect during a week, I may get something out sooner. If things go slightly slower or take longer or get off kilter some way in the week, it may go a day later. That's why it always says plus or minus a day. But as it stands right now, I am expecting it to be approximately Monday. Everybody is going to pull cards in here, so we do not need to worry about consolation cards because, yeah, everybody's going to have a package coming. I'm going to bring you back to me for a second, and I'm going to go see whether or not our bidder managed to pay for their stuff, and of course they didn't, because why would they? Let's go see what 3 teams this person bought and didn't pay for, and see if we can find a home for them. Give me 1 second here to see what we can do with it. Oh, what is this? Yeah, I've got some kind of weird pop-up message on YouTube. Oh, I don't even know what in the heck they're trying to tell me. I don't even know what that was. So, some weird pop-up message about some kind of functionality changing in YouTube, but I have no idea what it was, and I don't have time to read it right now, so it's weird that they would pop it up in the middle of a live stream, isn't it? So, our unpaid teams, they are the Oakland A's, the Philadelphia Phillies, and the San Francisco Giants. It is the same bidder that bought all 3 and managed to pay for exactly none of them. So, yeah, I need to find homes for those 3 teams. Looks like the Oakland A's sold for, I think that says 36. The Phillies sold for 32. The Giants sold for 30. If anybody wanted all three, preference would go to somebody wanting all three, then somebody that wanted two of the three. And if we don't have any luck there, then we would go into trying to move them out one at a time. So let me go update the spreadsheet to reflect that those are unpaid. In the meantime, if you want one or more of those teams, please jump into chat and let me know. All three of them, because they're the same bidder, I've either got to move all three of them or move none of them. So that is A's, Phillies, and Giants. And give me 1 minute here to get in and update the spreadsheet. All righty. A's, Phillies, and Giants, I said, right? Yeah, there we go. And let's just mark them up here real good. And get on our way. Tell you what, I don't know what it is lately with so many people bidding and not paying, but we've had a rash of that recently, haven't we? It's so frustrating because it holds everybody else up, you know? So that is terribly frustrating. Okay, so guys, gals, A's, Phillies, and Giants. Is anybody interested? Anybody want to buy them? Or is that one just going to be coming out of my side of things tonight, sounds like, if nobody's jumping in there to show any interest. So we've already talked about your shipping information. We'll just, I guess, keep on trucking here. This is a 12-box case of 2020 Diamond Kings baseball. This is an inner case. It is break number 3. It is the start of a new master case. It ended tonight on eBay the same night we are breaking it, which is Thursday night, the 18th of June. I've got the team names there on the left-hand side. Winning bidders are across from each team on the opposite side. And, of course, the A's, the Phillies, and the Giants, our unpaid team in here. Unpaid teams, rather, all from one bidder, but all unpaid nonetheless. So the next thing I'm doing, I'm changing up the focus a little bit. And you are going to notice that your background is about to get blurry. It actually already probably got blurry. And that is intentional, so please do not be concerned by that. We're going to be able to see what we need to see up close and no problems. Now, the next thing we need to do, I've got to determine which case we're going to open. There are 2 inner cases inside this quote-unquote master case from Panini. So here's what we will do, because chat isn't very active tonight, it doesn't look like. I'm going to use random to decide which one of the inner cases we open. So we do random hang on a second, left side, right side, okay. We do random the same way every single time. When we have 10 or more items in a list, we do it once. When we have 9 or fewer, we do it 3 times. Only the third one counts. That is the case here. So ignore the first one, ignore the second one. Here comes our third and final, and there you can see where we ran it 3 times. And it looks like we are going to open the case on the left-hand side. Did I not switch the view? Daggone it. Then I guess we'll do it again because I didn't switch it over. So never mind. We'll start all over. Thank goodness it was only on that and not something that was, involving a random giving out a card where I forgot to switch the view. I can't believe I did that. All right, we'll do it again. And I got myself distracted thinking about those unpaid teams, didn't I? Let's try that again. So ignore the first one and ignore the second one. Here's the third one. You can actually see it this time. Says 3 times, and this time it came up on the right-hand side. So that's what we're going to be opening, the right-hand side. All righty. So let me get the case out, and Jay Allen is here. Hi, Jay Allen. Jeremiah, you were asking on the A's. Again, it's the same person that's got all 3 teams, so I've either got to find a bidder for 3 teams or none of the teams, basically. Doesn't have to be the same person for all 3, but I would have to move all 3. And it looks like the A's sold for 36, the Phillies sold for 32, the Giants sold for 30. So some kind of close approximation to any of those amounts on any of those 3 teams would be fine. And again, if somebody wanted 2 of the 3, that would be the preference. And if somebody wanted, all 3, they would have first shot at it. 2 of the 3 would have second choice, and then singles after that. Now I've got to try to extract these, so we're going to have to bear with me, because I'm probably going to turn this upside down, which is going to switch them, so the one that was on the right will now be on the left. Otherwise, it's nearly impossible to get those things out of that case. All right, so this is the one we're opening. I'm going to move the other one out of the way. And off we go into the wild blue yonder. All right, we're going to try something else here. I'm going to try to upside down dump them out of this way too, rather than getting them out the other way. It'll be easier, I think, because these are usually wedged in there pretty snugly as well. So I'm thinking this is probably going to work better. Ta-da! I know, I'm so proud of myself. You guys are like, yeah, whatever. Well, you don't know how many times I hit the camera. Well, some of you know how many times I hit the camera trying to get stuff out of the cases. But we didn't that time, so that's the good news. Let me get a pile of sleeves out on the table, and then we're going to get trucking here. So I'm taking it Jeremiah's not interested in the A's. It doesn't sound like anybody else is interested in the Phillies or the Giants or the A's. So I guess my wayward, unpaid person will retain the teams. Maybe I'll get lucky and they'll pay me. I'm certainly not going to hold my breath, but you never know. Occasionally it happens. So Jay Allen, hi to you. You said you didn't see it, but the left is fine. Yeah, I know, but since I didn't have it on the screen, I just decided to run it again. Of course, you figured that out by now. What are we looking for in here? 2 autographs or memorabilia cards per box on average. Panini likes to use those 2 words, on average. It means basically this. Sometimes they replace a hit with a rewards point card. And if we find one of those tonight, we'll use random.org to give it out at the end of the night. That on average also covers the rare occasion where Panini does not give us the hits that we're supposed to have. It's a little CYA for them. So, yeah. So there you go. Hopefully it will not impact us tonight, but if it does, that is what it means. Oh, that's going to bug me. All this stuff is upside down. Bottom row's still upside down, but I can live with it a little better. Now, of course, what we will do on the first box or 2 of this, maybe the first box, we'll go a little bit slower through a few things, just so that everyone is clear on what kind of things we're finding, what's numbered, what isn't, etc. And then we'll speed it up a bit as we go through subsequent boxes. There are plenty of old-timers in here that will look a little different than what you think in terms of where they go. There are a lot of guys like Mel Ott and Christy Mathewson and guys like that that actually played for what at that time was called the New York Giants. So they say New York on the card, and they are orange in color. But, of course, the New York Giants of the old days happen to be the San Francisco Giants in today's world. So what that means is that any New York Giants we pull go there. We may find some Philadelphia A's. There is at least one player in here that is a Philadelphia A, which later became the Oakland A's. The rest of the Philadelphia players actually go to the Phillies, but the one guy who was a Philadelphia A goes to the Oakland A's. We also have a player or 2 that are Boston Braves, and of course the Boston Braves became the Atlanta Braves, so those go to Atlanta, not to the Red Sox. And the only other one I can think of is we have some Washington Senators in here. And the Senators, of course, became 2 different teams ultimately. The early version of the Senators, which I think left in, I want to say 1960, became the Twins. And the second Washington Senators, which were 1961 into the 70s, are the ones that became the Rangers. So if the player played prior to 1960, it would go to the Twins. If they were after 1960, it would go to the Rangers. This is a Mookie Betts. I'm holding it here for a second because this one says Boston for the Red Sox. But I believe there are Mookie Betts in here that also are the current team, which is the Dodgers. So if it says Los Angeles, it will go to the Dodgers. If it says Boston, it's going to go to the Red Sox like that one does. This is a Washington Senator, Goose Goslin. He was an early player, so that one is going to the Twins. He's the early version of what the Washington Senators. We're going to find plenty of framed cards. There's a couple of different colors. There's this color. There's the gray color. They are not numbered. If we do happen to run across one that is numbered, then just let me know. I will let you know. Sorry, I was reading chat at the same time, and I don't know what happened there. Mickey Cochran, this is the guy who is a Philadelphia A. So it actually goes to the Oakland A's, not the Phillies. Everything else that says Philadelphia in this product really goes to the Phillies, but not that guy, because Philadelphia A's, Oakland A's. You got it. First hit that we see is Jose Altuve. That is out for the Astros. It is a Jersey King relic headed to Houston. Artist palette, we'll find plenty of those inserts. Well, they're not as plentiful as some of the others, like all-time Diamond Kings, but we'll still see a handful. Carl Hubble, that's an example of what a New York Giants card looks like. Those, again, will go to the San Francisco Giants. A framed Clayton Kershaw. Aficionado is another insert set in here. If we run across some that are numbered, of course, I will call that out to you if I catch it. And occasionally one will get by me that I don't see until sorting, but we try to catch all the numbered stuff live, of course. Lots of base in here, so it takes a while to break this product, no matter what we do. It takes a little while. Another framed one, that's Hira for the Brewers. And Jay Allen's reminded me he needs Mojo for the Brewers, the Rangers, and the Rockies. All right, sir, I will work on that for you. And I appreciate you trying to help me move those unpaid teams in there, but it looks like we have no takers on them, so we'll see if the person who bid on them and bought them or purchased them actually decides to pay for them or not. Probably depends on what hits we get, doesn't it? We all know how that works. There's Rizzo for the Cubbies, a different type of insert that one was. A.J. Puck. And this is our second hit out of here. It is an autographed relic as well, paired up. Numbered to 99. I about couldn't read that over there. And that, of course, the Oakland A's. So not surprising that we would get some hits for the A's, is it? Oh, Mule Suttles. Yeah, he played in an early league, and it did not translate into a Major League Baseball team. So the team he played for is defunct. It did not go on to become another team or another franchise. It just ended. So as such, his cards, any that we find in here, we'll give out using random.org at the end of the night. And if I catch them, I'll set them up there as we go. Sometimes the base ones I may not catch until we're sorting, but the main thing is there's one up there to remind me that we will need to find a home for it at the end of the night. So that's how that will work. And then, of course, tomorrow we've got loads of baseball coming out. Prism baseball arriving tomorrow, and Pro Debut, even though we're not breaking that tomorrow, it comes out tomorrow too. So does Finest Baseball, which we are breaking. And then Sage Aspire Football is a new release for tomorrow, which we're also not breaking until probably sometime next week. And then, what else? Oh, the Leaf Football, that comes out tomorrow, and we are breaking it tomorrow. And I want to say there's even something else, maybe Big League Baseball. So, I mean, there's a massive amount of products coming out tomorrow. It's crazy. Crazy. And believe it or not, that Sage Aspire Football looks like a pretty cool product in that they've got some nice hits in it. In fact, there are some dual autographs, which ought to be very good, including one that I believe is a I think it's Drew Brees and Joe Burrow on the same card or something like that. But there's some nice, I think, some nice hits in there this year, it looks like. So we're going to open a few boxes of it to see. It didn't come in a case. They sold them all as loose boxes, which is kind of weird, but that's what they did. That's Tigers. So we have a few boxes of that I'll put together, and we'll open some Aspire football at some point in the days ahead. I've still got some other football down there too that I'll either work in or sell out, one of the two, depending on how much other stuff comes in before I have time to get to it, you know. And there is Tony Gonsolin for the Dodgers. Jay Allen said Sage made something good that's highly unusual. Yeah, I mean, it's a fairly high-end product for them, and they do have some nice stuff in there, it looks like. And somebody told me, I forget what, one of my reps told me what the deal was, but I think they signed some deals with players that they did not have in the past. So I believe it looks like it's going to be a pretty good product. I guess you never know till you open it, but it looks decent to me, so we'll find out. I ordered it anyway, about, 6 or 8 boxes of it, I think. Yadi Molina from downtown, that goes to the St. Louis Cardinals. From downtown is more or less an unofficial case hit in this product. Panini does not guarantee it in that they don't call it a case hit, but basically we know that it more or less is a case hit. Generally, you find one per case, not always. Sometimes you do not get one, and other times you get more than one, which again harkens back to why they don't call it a quote-unquote case hit, but in general, that's what we're going to find. So we have found one for tonight already, early on. And there's a Sean Murphy for the Oakland A's. So yeah, Jay Allen, you'll have to check it out. Some people, I'm sure, will be breaking it before I get around to getting it done. I just didn't have time to break it Friday night with so much other stuff coming out. And then honestly, I forgot about listing it. And then it came in actually early, came in today. And then I was like, oh, whoops. Number 299, we have dual relics there for Castro and the Detroit Tigers. And it was kind of pricey, too, for Sage. I mean, I think it's around $300 a box or something like that. So it's not an inexpensive product either. Bo Bichette for the Toronto Blue Jays. Oh, that's nice. Autograph and relic. Got quad relics for that one. So good little rookie hit there for Toronto with the Bo Bichette. And I actually got a little pro debut this year, which I do not always get. I don't always order it, but they have a jumbo version of it this year that has some chrome parallels in it, I want to say, was the primary difference. And so I did order some of it, and we will get around to breaking some pro debut at some point as well. And of course, we've got more Bowman and other things, Tier 1, and other things hanging around too that we'll get worked in along and along. But I am kind of anxious to see how Sage is going to look. I hope it's going to be nice. It looked like it might be pretty good. But there's not a ton of football out there right now anyway, so figured why not have some fun with it. We might be getting maybe Chronicles draft picks next week too. But that would be next week, not obviously tomorrow. I think that's next week. So that's the first time we've had a draft picks version of any Chronicles product. Of course, I guess this is the first time we've had Chronicles in baseball anyway. I mean in football. We started in baseball and then moved to basketball and baseball, and now moving to football with the draft picks version of it. All right. Well, we've got one out early on. It's a good one. Gavin Lux for the Dodgers. And that one's signed too. So very nice hit there for the LA Dodgers with the Gavin Lux autograph and relic. So a couple of good rookies out back to back, Bichette and Lux. And our other hit shows up right behind the first one, is the Kansas City Royals, and that is a Whit Merrifield Bat Kings relic. So there we go. Both of our hits showed up really early out of this box, didn't they? Right there together. So the other day, I thought we were close to having a deal for Major League Baseball to come back, Cubbies framed, and then it blew up, and then they came back together again, and I thought we were about to have a deal done again, and now I'm not sure if it's going to blow up again or what, because I thought I saw a headline right before I went live. I thought it popped across my tablet saying something like, you know, the commissioner saying negotiations aren't going to happen anymore or something. I don't know. That was the Cubs with a framed card. Jay Allen, you're out of here for tonight. All right, my friend. Well, go get yourself some rest, and I will work on trying to have some mojo for your teams. We'll see what we can come up with for you tonight. Hopefully something will present itself. A Carl Hubble that says New York on it. It is the New York Giants, so goes to the San Francisco Giants. And I know you guys are like, you've said that like 12 times. I know, but listen, people jump in and out of breaks all the time, and they don't always pay attention, and it's just easier to say it and hopefully catch everybody. So there's an example of Mookie Betts as a Dodger. Remember, I mentioned to you earlier, some of his inserts say Boston. Those will go to the Red Sox. Some say Los Angeles, as that one did, and they will go to the Dodgers. So he's in here insert-wise both ways for both teams, so just be aware of that. Oh, I hear the cat down there playing with the ball toy. So Jay Allen will be real glad he's gone. He listens on headphones, and anytime the cats get into anything, it is always, I think, really loud on his headphones, and I feel bad for him, so he's probably better off. They might not play for long, though. You never know. Depends on what kind of mood they're in. My mother came over yesterday to see everybody. It's the first time she's been in the house in 3+ months. But she actually came in, right? Yeah, for the first time in all that time. Now, I've seen her plenty of times since then. But just, you know, with all the stuff that's been going on, and she being elderly and in a vulnerable population, we've been really careful with her. And so we were making sure to follow all the social distancing guidelines and talk through windows and doors and from 10 feet away and all that stuff. So that was nice that she was over yesterday and saw everybody, and she enjoyed seeing the cats too. So she played with them a little bit and got some of the energy out of their system. Oh, Jay Allen was still here. He heard the cat. All right, well, get yourself some good rest, my friend, and we will try to have some good mojo for you as we go along through this tonight. Do our little Diamond Kings here. I gotta get some Bowman scheduled again, too. That's another one that just kind of got shuffled back a little bit with all the other products that have been coming out. Break a little of this, a little of that, and then something new comes out, and you forget. I know, it's always the shiny new things, isn't it? Rojas. It says Josh Rojas, and is that numbered? Yes, it is. It's numbered to 10 up there in the corner. I just about missed that, but it's up there. So a Josh Rojas autograph, numbered to 10, out for the Diamondbacks, Arizona. And there's a framed Pete Rose for my little Cincinnati Reds. Oh, and I got to tell you guys, this is the most awesome thing probably ever. So there is someone who bids with me pretty regularly who knows that I'm a huge Johnny Bench fan. And they had a card signed by Johnny Bench, like one that somebody had gotten signed in person, a card from the 70s, and they had met Johnny Bench and gotten it signed. And they sent it to me. Just gave me the Johnny Bench card because they knew I was such a big fan. It showed up in the mail yesterday. Oh my gosh, I was like a kid at Christmas. It is so cool, and I especially love that it's from the 70s, like the late 70s, because that's the time I was a kid and collecting, so it was very cool. There is the polar bear, Pete Alonso. That insert is numbered to 99, going to Mets. So yeah, I have a new Johnny Bench autographed card added to my collection, and I thought that was just so awesome. It's framed for the Rockies, and it was pretty fun to get that, especially on that particular card. Kurt Schilling for the Diamondbacks framed. And what else have we got in here? Acuna, Ronald Acuna Jr., Atlanta Braves, a pair of relics. They're both white. I don't like it when Panini gives us both white relics, but they do it more than we would prefer, don't they? It's a bit boring when they do it, but they do it that way nonetheless. You see, I'm slowly but surely I'm turning them going the other way. I can't help it. It bugs me. It really bothers me that I'm looking at them upside down. And I'm not I'm not like an OCD kind of person. I don't care about most things about which way it's facing or whatever. But for some reason tonight, those upside down ones on the bottom row are just bothering me. Maybe I've had too much sugar today. I don't know. Could be. Oh, I don't even know what I had today that had sugar in it. Besides, like I said, soda. Well, I'm sure there was sugar in some food I ate, but I didn't totally overdo it. I do feel a little hyper, though. I will tell you that. Red Bull does that to me. So, everybody in the family's always fussing at me. I need to give up my Red Bull, they say. It can't be good for you. I'm like, well, it can't be that bad for me. I'm not dead yet. I like it. I enjoy it. And it definitely does give me a little boost. So that makes me happier too. Like that little jolt of caffeine. I am not a coffee drinker, so that takes the place of coffee in the mornings. Get a little Red Bull going. Okie dokie, off to the races. Speaking of the races, we've got the Belmont Stakes this weekend. That's going to be freaky. It's the first in the Triple Crown this year. It's normally the last race of the Triple Crown. Cleveland Indians framed, but this year it's the first. And Billy Williams, a Cubbies framed. And then on top of that, I guess it is no fans in the stands, right? And then on top of all of that, it's not even the same distance as normal. Belmont's typically 1.5 miles, but this year they're running it, I don't know what they're doing. It wasn't 1.25 miles though, so maybe it was 1 3/16 miles or something. I don't know. They're messing around doing something funky with it. I mean, I'll be glad of watching it, have something to watch, but I don't know. Still, it seems weird. And if you had a horse that won the Triple Crown this year, that would be so, like, not legit, right? Because the races would be all out of order, and he wouldn't have had to have done the 1.5 miles at the Belmont, which is always the hardest part of the Triple Crown, the test of champions. He wouldn't have to do any of that. Yeah, if a horse wins the Triple Crown this year, I wouldn't even really consider him to be a Triple Crown winner. Is that awful? It is. Minnesota Twins, Jose Barrios, numbered to 49. Quad relics and autograph. But, I mean, truly, think about it for baseball for a minute. If we do come back and they actually end up playing baseball, it's going to be such a short season. There's really no margin for error. And Michael Baez for the Padres. And everything's going to be so weird with it. I mean, whoever wins the World Series this year, are you going to consider them to be on the same level as somebody who won a quote-unquote typical or normal World Series? I'm not sure I would be. I mean, I might be, but I don't know if I would be. Mookie Betts and the Dodgers. 2 relics and numbered to 50. Big 5-0. I guess it depends on the team, too, though, right? So, like, if it was my team, the Cincinnati Reds, which, haha, right? The Reds are going to win the World Series this year. Ha, ha, ha. But let's just say, for a minute, that is what happened. I would probably be less inclined to care that it was, I was going to say tainted, but that's not the right word, that it was non-traditional season if my team won the World Series. But if it's not my team that wins the World Series, I think I would always think of it as, yeah, I don't know, you're not as good as the other World Series winners. And that's going to be true of any abbreviated sport this year, in my opinion. Even the NBA, because, I mean, again, shortened season, not very many games left to play. Even though they're going to get back to work, everything is going to be so different that whoever the NBA champions are this year, I think same thing. Kind of always going to have that little footnote by their win. But listen, if you're getting the ring and the title, you probably don't care if you've got a footnote by your name or not, do you? I wouldn't. I'd say, give me the ring, give me the money, give me the title. I'm all good. But it will be interesting as things get going again. I think it's going to be strange to watch a lot of the stuff, too, because the crowd noise always plays such a big part. I think it's just going to seem really weird watching it without any people there. Although some of the places, you know, are piping in crowd noise and putting dolls and dummies and whatever in the seats to make it look like there are people sitting there. So maybe that helps. I don't know. There's a framed Nolan Ryan Astros. Hey, it's another Bo Bichette for the Blue Jays. Got the nice signed one earlier, and a pair of 2-color relics there, numbered to 50. So, Toronto Blue Jays and Mr. Bichette having an okay night thus far. Whoa, 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 whoa. Somebody slid right out of the pile there. And that was for the Milwaukee Brewers. And Robin Yount tried to jump right out of the lineup there, didn't he? And we're going to find our other hit pretty early in this box, too. It is Justin Dunn, Seattle Mariners, again with relics and autograph. That is numbered to 25, and a couple of good-looking relics attached to that card for Justin Dunn and the Mariners. And there is a framed Babe Ruth. That's Yankees. I didn't say Yankees, but probably pretty much everybody knows that Babe Ruth is a Yankees, probably. But anyway, in case you don't, it's Yankees. And a framed Bert Blyleven. It's Minnesota. All right, that finishes up that box. Now we are halfway done. So we have opened 6, and we have 6 left. And I've just about got all my boxes facing the right way now. Oh, life is good. We got some rain today. I'm very happy about that. Because otherwise, I was going to have to go water a bunch of stuff tonight. And instead, nature did it for me. Saved me probably 45 minutes of time, and it made me quite happy. See a little rainfall today. You know, this weekend is Father's Day, and I don't guess we've got any Father's Day promotions coming from Panini or anything this year. They're still trying to get caught up on all the products they missed when we were in the shutdown. So we won't see any Father's Day promotions from them. I wonder if we'll even have Black Friday stuff from them this year. Because I don't know how much stuff, if any, is going to be quote-unquote left over. Because usually, you know, I mean, that's a lot of what makes up their Black Friday stuff, usually. It's things that have released earlier in the year, like this, for example. They print a fair amount of Diamond Kings. It doesn't generally sell out, so you can expect typically there would be some left at that time of year, and that's one of the products they will often offer up on Black Friday, and you get the special little packs, the Black Friday packs for buying boxes or cases of this and other announced products. But it does make you wonder, doesn't it? What if anything is going to be available to do that kind of promotion even later in the year? So I don't know what it's going to look like. And I think we're not very far from Series 2 baseball coming out either. That's Walter Alston for the Dodgers. Framed. I think Series 2 is maybe coming out in the next couple weeks. I don't know. They've changed the calendar so often. And I'm sure it's going to change again several times before we actually get through the next couple of weeks. So I don't know. Even though I think something's coming, it may not be the case in reality. We always find out too late, don't we? That is Elston Howard for the New York Yankees. And a framed Aristides Aquino for the Cincinnati Reds, the Punisher. We didn't look at the back of that. Have we been looking at the back of all these? I think some we have, some we haven't. I don't know if I have shown you the back of them or not. They're always numbered on the front, though, if they're going to be numbered. So I don't always flip those over. But anyway, for the sake of argument, we did in case it needed to be. So how about that? Oh, we're not done. What am I doing? I'm taking the plastic off. We left a whole stack sitting up there. Well, we didn't. I did, but you know what I mean. There is a Justin Verlander for the Astros with quad relics. We just about left him hanging out up there. I was all ready to go into start a whole new box, and whoops, we still had a little stack to look at now, didn't we? I know. And we have a Jesus Luzardo coming out. And that, of course, the Oakland A's with an autograph and some nice looking relics there for Jesus. And it's numbered to 25 for Oakland. Now, we can go ahead and get these packs out of there. I got a little ahead of myself. Maybe I really do need to cut out the Red Bull. guess we'll have some Leaf baseball products before too long. They're usually not awfully far behind the draft, getting some of their products out for baseball, but draft being so much shorter this year with only the 5 rounds, I don't know how that's going to impact Leafs products either, because they generally have a fairly deep checklist, but I mean, you're only talking about 150 guys that got drafted. Now, granted, there are plenty of guys who have signed deals outside of being drafted, and I guess they can make deals with and include them too in their products, and probably will do so. But just generally speaking, a lot fewer people than we're used to seeing in a draft class. And you know, there's not generally duplication in Leaf products. I was thinking that in my head, and then I realized, well, I didn't say that out loud, so they're probably like, why does that impact Leaf particularly? Well, that's why. Because they don't usually have duplicates in a box of Leaf or whatever, case of Leaf. Sometimes in a case, maybe, but not often. Stan Musial for St. Louis Cardinals. They're pretty good about it. So having fewer guys available, I would think, is going to make it harder to not have duplication. That's where I was going with that. But I'm sure they'll figure it out. And there's Randy Johnson for the Diamondbacks. They were buying National Treasures basketball this week, Leaf was, on the secondary market. And I'm assuming then, of course, that's going to show up later in Leaf Best of Basketball, Leaf Best of Sports, and all that sort of stuff. I bet you there's going to be a lot of National Treasure stuff in there, because I think they put up that they were buying something like 4 cases of it at a really hefty price. So now we know why their products are priced the way they are, right? They don't always buy those hits on the secondary market. They're buying cases. They'll sit there and open them up and pull the hits. This is Randy Arozarena. I still butchered that, but anyway, you get the idea, even though I completely butchered it. And it is, of course, the Tampa Bay Rays. Robert, White Sox. And actually, I'm thinking I should have had some Leaf Best of Sports or something that should have shown up by now that I should have gotten, and I don't guess I did get it. So I wonder what happened with that. Either they changed the release date, or I didn't order it, or I didn't get allocated any, or something. I need to check on that. Or the date may have moved again, and I just didn't make a note of it. I don't know. Either way, something seems amiss. Ooh, Ty Cobb for the Tigers, and this is a game-worn, game-used type deal, and it's numbered to 7. So that's Ty Cobb, pieces of a baseball bat he used. Now that's a pretty sweet little hit right there, numbered to 7 for the Tigers. So congrats on your Ty Cobb hit. I like that. Well, you think I need to change the blade, huh? Maybe. I almost kind of like to keep it dull, the one I use here to do breaks with, because I'm always afraid, like, what if my hand were to slip? This is gruesome. And if my hand were to slip and I cut myself, the first thought I have is like, oh my God, what if I bled on a card? Not like, oh, what if I cut my finger off, or I need stitches, or I need whatever. It's like, oh, what if I bled on a card? So yeah, I think about things like that. And every time I get ready to change that blade, which is dull, I then think what I just said and decide, oh, I think I'll just leave it dull. I'll just cut that plastic a couple extra times. I don't know. I hear my neighbors starting with fireworks again. They have been setting them off every night since basically about the 4th of June. So they started about 1 month early. And I don't believe they have missed more than maybe 1 or 2 nights. And they have the kind that are quite loud, which I love. Fireworks, okay? Love them. I often would make a trip across state lines to get the ones that aren't legal to have here, the kind that my neighbors have. And oh gosh, we'd spend a lot of money and put on a nice fireworks show. Well, my parents did that when I was a kid. I've done it as an adult for many years until I don't really have enough open space around me now to do it anymore. Plus, they made it illegal here, and some of my neighbors would probably call the police on me. And anyway, I love them, but I wish these guys wouldn't do it every single night. That is Lou Gehrig framed for the Yankees. If they could maybe just do it for, a week or so around 4th of July, that'd be great. Frank Thomas, The Big Hurt. Because it does scare the animals, of course, and if anybody ever falls asleep early, well, you're not going to stay asleep because they're going to blast you right out of there, right out of bed with that, with fireworks. There's Vlad Guerrero Jr. This is also Toronto. Blue Jays having a pretty good night. A Bat Kings relic for Junior there. Baby Vlad. And what else? I don't know. Nothing too interesting has happened today. It was a pretty boring day as a whole. Just did a lot of sorting and getting stuff ready to ship and a lot more sorting. And then I took a break for about 5 minutes and then I did a bunch more sorting. So it's kind of boring. Tomorrow will be more interesting. UPS will be bringing me lots of goodies tomorrow. Ty Cobb framed tigers. Of course, I did get the one thing early today, the Sage Aspire. It did come early. No, that wouldn't be right either, because the release date would have either been a Wednesday or a Friday. I don't know why I got that today, but anyway, even if we do get it early, we can't break it early. Because if you break it early and you get caught, Panini or Topps put you on a blacklist, and no distributor can sell to you if you're on their blacklist, on the manufacturer blacklist. That is Diaz for the Miami Marlins autograph relic pairing, numbered to 99. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It is a whole thing, that blacklist. And there's certain things that you just aren't allowed to do. And if Panini or Topps catch you doing them, then they will literally send your name to all the distributors and say you can no longer sell our product to, this person, this business, whatever. Like if you sell something before release date, if you break it before a certain time on street date, if you sell it below the manufacturer's suggested retail price within the first, I think it's 60-day window, or maybe I think it's a 60-day window. I don't know. I'd have to look that up, but of course it doesn't really matter to me because we break ours, but you can't sell it below MSRP. There's like tons of stuff, tons of rules, that if you break them and get caught breaking them, you are not ever going to get any more product from that distributor. And Topps has a thing about selling on Amazon too. You're not allowed to sell, if you are an official Topps account or you get your product from an official Topps distributor, you're not supposed to sell it on Amazon either. I don't really know why. I don't know why they care if you would sell it on Amazon, as long as you met their pricing guidelines. I wouldn't think it would matter, but yet apparently it does. So there you go. But I would never do stuff like that and risk losing my account. I know people who do skirt around and do stuff that you know, they're just taking a chance. I guess they figure odds are they won't get caught, but boy, I wouldn't take that chance. I like getting my cards. Somebody told me that Bo Bichette might be a short print in here where he comes out only 1 or 2 per case. So there he was. We may have, I don't know if we've seen him before or not, but that was a Bo Bichette base rookie that went by. And there's a Manny Machado framed for the Padres. Followed by a framed Chang for the Cleveland Indians. So yeah, I think it's crazy, some of these people that take chances on that, because, I mean, once you're blackballed, I don't think they reinstate you, and I don't think you get a warning either. I think it is you're supposed to know what the rules are, and you either follow them or face the consequences. Morejon framed Padres. All those are upside down. Look at me making a mess of things. I've got them going in all different directions. Joe Palumbo, Texas Rangers. Autograph relic pairing for the Rangers. Maybe it started raining again because I think the neighbors only set off like 2 fireworks. And they always do way more than 2. So either it started raining again on them or they ran out of them. Oh, wouldn't that be nice if they ran totally out? At least if they ran out until the actual 4th of July. Charlie Keller. And Charlie is an artist proof, numbered to 49, going to the Yankees. Little New York Yankee there. Oh, see, right as I said that, listen, there went another one. So I spoke too soon, didn't I? I need to get a drink of water 1 second. Yeah, I jinxed it. I shouldn't have even said anything else. I thought we were going to get lucky. I was wrong. Alrighty. Boy, just 2 that time. We're going the wrong way. Shohei Ohtani. And the Angels. Relics. Numbered to 50. A red one and a gray one. Nice little pairing there of relics. 2 inserts left. Finish up that box. We have opened 10. We have 2 left to go. Oh, that was loud, wasn't it? I always have a huge pile of just like boxes and wrappers over next to me. And sometimes the cats like to come and play in the wrappers like kids would play in leaves. I haven't done that as much lately, but there for a while that was kind of a thing they like to do. Get in and crunch around in the wrappers. We will have a huge stack of stuff tomorrow night. We're going to open a lot of stuff. It'll take us a while, too. It'll be a long break tomorrow. I would say probably 2.5 hours tomorrow night, start to finish. That's my guess. Give or take 10 minutes, but that's kind of how that's the amount of time I think it will take us. Of course, you never know. Sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little shorter, but that's my thought on it off the top of my head anyway. And we have here Edwin Rios for the Dodgers. Relics and autograph. And there's a framed Yelich for the Brewers. Got to put another Mule Settles over there on that pile. There's a framed Curt Schilling, Diamondbacks. And Chris Bryant for the Cubbies. Relics numbered 299 for Bryant. I think it's really the eyes about this. We've talked about this before. That's like the worst artist rendering of Bryce Harper. I mean, I thought he looked kind of like a Keystone Cop, and somebody else say looked like he belonged on an FBI's Most Wanted poster, and we've been riffing on that one for, well, since Diamond Kings came out. It's a very terrible representation of him. I think it's the eyes that do it. I can't decide for sure, but that's what I think. That was A.J. Puck, Oakland A's framed. I mean, it's just crazy. Some of the artists' pictures on these are not real good. Some are definitely better than others. Maybe that's the way to say it. I don't know. Of course, I can't even draw a stick figure, so I don't have any business critiquing anybody else anyway, I guess. All right, we are opening our last box out of this case, so that means we are invoking Last Box Mojo along about now and hoping that the Mojo is going to bring us something extra special out of the last box. We're going to try anyway and hope that we can get lucky and find a few things. Oh, sorry about that. These slipped out of my hand. I'm going to set them out separately. We'll look at them individually. I don't think any harm came to them based on the way they hit. They just kind of hit flat and slid, but nonetheless, we're going to look at them separately since it did cruise out of my hand a little bit there, unfortunately. All right, so what was in there? Yeah, just base and the one Garrett Cole insert. What was in there? So I think we're all right there, and they didn't look any worse for the wear, so I believe we're okay. There's a Mookie Betts for the Red Sox. We saw that earlier as well. Numbered Kirby Puckett, Minnesota Twins /99. And it could be that there's some other numbered base that's gone by that I haven't caught. The image that they use, or the background, whatever you want to call it, a lot of times I lose the numbering in it, it seems. Vlad Guerrero, this is senior, and of course that's the Montreal Expos, and the former Montreal Expos are the current Washington Nationals, so that does go to the Nationals. Of course, cards always stay with their franchise. But yeah, it's just, you know, the design's kind of busy, and sometimes where they place it, it's hard to see the numbering, and I'll catch it when I'm sorting. But I try to catch them all live, but I don't know if I always do. It's Dustin May for the Dodgers, a framed insert. But certainly we try to. My eyesight is not what it once was, that's for sure. I had some eye surgery, elective eye surgery. I know, what an idiot, right? Several years ago, before LASIK, there was something called RK, radial keratotomy. It was supposed to do the same thing, where they manually put the cuts in your eye. And my doctor messed mine up, and it's just ruined my vision. It's been awful. Ricky Henderson, the Oakland A's, and that is numbered /49. And then as I get older, I find this even worse. Because, of course, your vision naturally changes when you get older and it gets a little worse. And then, yeah, and then that stupid surgery just butchered my eyes. There's Albert Pujols, Angels framed. Jose Altuve for the Astros. I saw it earlier and you saw me just shuffle it over so we could have it a little bit later. That's Jersey Kings, and our other hit right behind it. Oh, it's the Red Sox and Xander Bogaerts. This one you don't pull very often. It's numbered to 49. The Red Sox with a nice little Xander autograph and relic card there. So that was a good way to end things if you have the Red Sox anyway. Alrighty, so that is the end of the break, but we are going to recap our hits, and we'll also take a look at our numbered cards. But then I have one more thing I need to do, and that's to find a home for the stack of Mule Settles cards. So, yeah, for those of you who maybe if you didn't hear me mention it earlier, he did not, the team he played for many years ago did not go on to become a Major League Baseball affiliated team. So the team just died out, and there is no affiliate to history to trace it back to. So it's kind of an orphan team. Why can I not get, good grief. And as such, we're going to have to use random.org and find a home for that little stack of cards. Now, you might not have heard me mention this earlier, I don't know, but if you didn't, the deal is this. When we run random, if I have 10 or more items in a list, I run random one single time, and whoever comes out on top after the one random, that's who gets it. If we have 9 or fewer items in a list, we run random 3 times. Right now, of course, I'm copying all the team names to paste them in when we get back to random. And when we run it 3 times, it's only the third one that counts. The first 2 don't count. Now, obviously, in this instance, we have way more than 10 in our list. There are 30 Major League Baseball teams, so we have 30 in our list here. And I will scroll through all of this so you can see that each team was properly copied and pasted. Good luck, everyone, and here we go. And looks like that is headed to the Atlanta Braves. So the Braves are getting this little package right here of Mule Settles cards. And if I find more when I sort, which there could be some mixed in with the base over there, and of course if there are, I'll find them when I sort and I'll add them to your little stack. But those are going to the Braves as per random.org. Our numbered cards that don't have relics or autographs attached: to 49, Ricky Henderson and the A's; to 99, Kirby Puckett and the Minnesota Twins. There's a Charlie Keller artist proof; to 49 for the Yankees. For the Mets, numbered to 99, a Pete Alonso, and then a sort of unofficial case hit in that Panini just calls it ultra rare. It is from downtown, Yadier Molina, and Yadi is a St. Louis Cardinal. Now comes our hits. Got Verlander for the Astros, Dunn for the Seattle Mariners. You've got a Bo Bichette for the Blue Jays. Mookie Betts as a Dodger on that card. Jose Barrios, Minnesota Twins. Acuna for the Braves. Josh Rojas for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Whit Merrifield, the Royals. A Gavin Lux for the Dodgers. Bo Bichette out for the Blue Jays. Well, who's trying to stay behind up there? Jose Altuve, Astros. Castro for the Tigers. For the Oakland A's, you've got an A.J. Puck. Diaz, the Miami Marlins. Azarena for the Tampa Bay Rays. Jesus Luzardo, Oakland A's. Xander Bogaerts, the Boston Red Sox. Another Jose Altuve for the Astros, a bookend of that one. Chris Bryant, the Cubbies. Edwin Rios for the Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani, the Angels. Joe Palumbo, the Texas Rangers. Vlad Guerrero Jr., Toronto Blue Jays. And then this nice little Ty Cobb here, numbered to 7. That's actually game-used pieces of the baseball bat for the Tigers, numbered to 7. All right, so there's our break. There's our recap. I will put up spreadsheet information one final time. If you missed it earlier, we're going to go over your anticipated shipping date and what is coming up in the days ahead. All that is coming up right now. So Monday, that's my targeted shipping date for this product to be out the door and on the way to you. As always, that is plus or minus a day. So if things go super well, maybe it gets out the door a day early, which in this case would mean Saturday. And if something goes off the rails, it could always go a day later, which would of course mean Tuesday. But as it sits right now, I do think it will be Monday most likely. And we do not have to worry about consolation cards in here. All the cards do ship, so every team pulled a handful of cards. And of course, you will get those when the break goes out the door. We are looking next at what is coming up in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, it's going to be busy. We've got a lot of new release products. We're going to break 3 of the ones that are coming out tomorrow. A half case of Prism Baseball, a full case of Flash Football, and a full case of Finest Baseball. Not necessarily in that order, but that is the order that they are ending on eBay. Both Saturday night and Sunday night will be off nights. On Monday night, we're going to open Gold Rush Multisport Autograph Jerseys. There's a separate bidding category for multi-signed jerseys because there are a few in that release. Everything else, the spots are sold by the first letter of the name that is printed on the jersey. So Aaron to A, Brady to B, etc. All those bidding spots are listed in the football category. Then we're going to open Court Kings Basketball by the half case and Tier 1 Baseball by the half case. Loose boxes in both instances of Court Kings and Tier 1 on Monday night. Then on Tuesday night, we're going to come back and revisit Diamond Kings, opening the other inner case that was in this master case that we started tonight. The remaining 12-box case we will open on Tuesday night. And that, I guess, is it for me tonight. So, as always, thank you for joining me. I very much appreciate you being here. I hope that you have a great weekend ahead. We're not far from it. And I hope I'll see you again soon. Come back and join me. I always like having the company. In the meantime, stay safe, healthy, and happy. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye now.